I'm Kelobi from Delta. I'm Market Manager for Delta's Road Safety Instruments. We are here in Delta's production facility where we are going to introduce the LTL XL retroreflectometer to you. LTL XL is a robust instrument that can measure nighttime and daytime visibility and can measure both wet and dry markings. LTL XL measures according to the 30-meter geometry, which is the geometry used in the current European standard EN 1436 and the US standard ASTM E1710. Delta's instruments are certified according to the standards when it comes to user safety and EMC emission. LTL XL comes as a base unit where you can add various features. You can add an extendable handle to give you a better working height. You can add wheels that will allow you to roll the instrument when you are measuring on the road. You can add a built-in printer if you need to print your results while on the road. And you can add a GPS system which will allow you later on to display the measurement results on Google Earth. LTL XL can be used at temperatures between 0 degree and 45 degrees Celsius or 32 and 113 degrees Fahrenheit. If you transport the instrument in an air-conditioned vehicle, you will need to take out the box and the instrument out of the box and leave it for about 15 minutes to acclimate. LTL XL has a measurement field of 50 by 185 millimeter or 2 by 7.3 inch. You can see at the sides of the instrument where the exact location of the length of the measurement field is. LTL XL make use of LED lights, which in practice means that the light source is maintenance free. LTL XL can measure plane markings and profile markings up to 5 millimeter. We are sure that you will have a very good use of the LTL XL instrument when you go to the road to confirm the quality of your road markings. Before you start measuring, it is important to ensure that the instrument is measuring properly. This is done by calibrating the instrument. Delta recommend that you calibrate the instrument daily, typically in the morning before you start measuring. The calibration unit is mounted underneath the instrument. This is the calibration tile where the calibration is done, and here's the label telling you what to calibrate. You can see here that the night visibility has to be calibrated to 149 millicandela and the daylight visibility measurement to 131 millicandela. The calibration unit is now remounted underneath the instrument. You do it by placing the instrument on the unit, pulling it back so it's connected in the back and in the front. This means it's correctly mounted. If you want to install the wheels on the LTLX, you do like this. You fasten the 2 screws. And you are ready to roll the instrument. The GPS cannot be seen as such, but there is a symbol in the display showing that the GPS is on. In this case, the green color indicates a good connection. This is the LTL XL control panel. It consists of 8 activity buttons and an LED screen which can display the various information. Here we have 4 navigation buttons and the OK button which confirm your activity. The display first of all show you the measurement result, the night visibility RL and the daytime visibility QD. It shows you the ID of this particular road or measurement series, and it shows you how many measurements have been made within this ID. It gives you the date, the time, the relative humidity and the temperature. Here we have the name of the user, and here we have the average calculation. In this case the instrument is set up to make average of 4, and this is the third measurement in a series of 4. You are able to choose between 30 different icons that show you what kind of marking type you have been measuring. If you have an unbroken line, you move to the unbroken line and enter that. The icon will also be shown in the log later on. The two icons here allow you a shortcut to enter a new ID or to enter a name of a user. We will be back on those a bit later. It also shows you the quality of the GPS contact. Green means very good contact, orange okay contact, and red bad contact or no contact. And it shows you the battery status. If there are any warnings or errors during measurement, it will be shown up here by two icons. When you have an error or a warning, you can go up in the fields here and see exactly what is the problem. The first button in the upper right corner is the turn on and turn off button. If you push the button briefly, it will bring the instrument into sleep mode, where you can fast bring it back in active position. If you push the button for 4 or 5 seconds or longer, it will activate the auto off of the instrument, so turn it off completely. The second button is the visit button. It's a shortcut to 1 out of 5 function. In this case it's set up to clear the last data. If that is what you do frequently, that's what you can use it for. And you push the green button and it will clear the last data. I will revert to this with more details later on. The third button, which we have already looked at, is the calibration button. And the fourth button is the button where you can print the last measurement you have made. The question mark is the help menu. When you push the button, it will bring you to the section in the help menu which deal with this particular area you are in. If you make a second push, it will bring you to the full help menu. The arrow back button take you 1 step back, and the home button take you back to the main menu. The menu button bring you into the main menu, which we will look at a little bit later. We will now go through the menu of the instrument. So this is the button that opens up the main menu, where we have different points. We have settings, we have measurement type, series ID, the ID for the road, the log, setting up average calculation, diagnostics, the help menu, and the option to make automatic prints if required. So we will start looking into settings. In settings, first point is the user. This is where you can change the user or enter a new user. To enter a new user, open new. We will put Tess in as a user, in this case. And when the name has been entered, you go to End, push the button, go to Select, and choose Tess. And now we can see Tess has been entered as the user. Moving back, this is where you can edit the different users, and this is where you can delete different users. Next point is date and time. Here you can decide the time format, if it is 24 or 12 hours. You change by pushing the green button. You can choose between a number of different date and time formats. You can set up the date and time, year, months. And you can decide the time zone. In this case it's washout. And you can automatically have the instrument to synchronize the time by using the GPS information. Next one is the display. This is where you can change the intensity of the backlight on a scale from 1 to 10. It's 10 now, it's the highest. You can reduce that if you want to say battery. The dimmer time, it's set to 10 seconds now. We will set it to 30 seconds. So it's the time before the display go from full backlight to a lower dim level. And here you can decide the dim level, again on a scale from 1 to 10, with 10 the highest. It's now 1, it's the lowest level. And you can decide if you want to have the colored display or the less battery using black and white color. Next is the sound. This is where you can change the intensity of the key click, as we can hear now. It's set to the lowest level, and the same for other sounds can be changed between 1 and 10. Power is where you can decide how long time it goes before the instrument goes into auto sleep. It's set to 5 minutes now. Can be increased or decreased. We will keep it at 5 minutes. And auto off is where the instrument automatically turns completely off. Set to 1 hour. You can change it, or you can turn it completely off. Minimum is 1 hour. LTL XL comes with a number of different languages: English, German, French, Spanish, Danish, Italian, Polish and Turkish. It will be possible to add additional languages if necessary. An example, if you push German, you will get German throughout the menu. We will go set it back to English. Temperature, here you can toggle between Celsius and Fahrenheit just by pushing the green button. Smart is where you can decide one of 5 shortcuts, a function that you typically often need during measurement. You can decide if you'll go directly into select series, clear last measurement, which is what the instrument is set up to just now, as we saw earlier, reset average, turn series ID display on and off, or select measurement type, QD, RL or both. And aux is where you can turn the GPS off and on. We will have it on now. Next line is the measurement type. This is where you decide if you want to measure only RL or QD or both. If you don't want, for example, QD, you turn it off like this. The wet timer is where you can delay the actual measurement time after pushing the button. You can set it to off, or you can set it between 15 and up to 60 seconds. If we take 15 seconds as an example, you activate the 15 seconds, go to the main screen. You see the wet timer is set at 15 seconds. You push the button and it will automatically count down, and after 15 seconds do the measurement. This is often made if you want to measure wet markings after having poured water on. And we have the measurement. The last button is the timer alarm. It is like the wet timer, it's just that you set the time where you want the instrument to make an alarm. We will activate the QD for further use. Third line is the series ID. This is where you can enter an ID for the road or change the ID. Set up the same way as for entering a user. If you want a new one, you go to New. We can make it Highway. 55. Go to End. And then move up to Select. Select Highway 55. And now we have Highway 55 and no measurement for this ID. Back to the menu, the series ID. It's also where you can edit and delete IDs. Fourth line is the log. This is where you can clear data or view the log. If we start with view the log, you have the option to view the last data with all the relevant information. You can view all data, and when you push again, you will go down in this particular measurement and see the data. And you can access various series and just see the data from this particular series. And the same options are available for clear data. You can clear the last data, you can clear all data, or you can clear a particular series. Average, you can decide if you want average calculation on or off. We will keep it on. We provide you two sets of average data, moving or fixed. Fixed mean if you have decided on average of 4, that it will measure four measurements and give you the average of these 4 and start over again. Moving means that it will always give you the average of the last 4 measurements. If you want to reset the average data, you push reset and confirm, and it's reset and start all over from 0. Diagnostics is where you can find information about the instrument, the battery, the board, the GPS, and the instrument itself, the software. This is information that is first of all of interest to Delta, where we can see different information about the instrument, about the software, etc. So if you get a problem with the instrument, Delta may ask you to provide some of this information so that we can evaluate the problem and give you our recommendation based on that. The help menu. The first step is the general help menu, where you can seek information about different parts of the instrument. If you click one more time, you will get specific assistance on a specific area. Auto print is where you can automatically print all measurements that you're making. If it's on, it will automatically print. If it's off, it will only print if you activate the print button. With the LTL XL delivery Delta supplies software to be used for storage and processing of measurement data. The road sensor control software is available on the USB memory stick supplied with the instrument or on roadsensors.com website. The LTL XL software pack consists of a driver for 32 or 64-bit PC. It will automatically choose the correct one, and the PC software program. To install the LTL XL software from the USB stick, do the following. Insert the USB in the computer and open up the program. If your PC does not automatically start the software program, click on Autorun. Click on the LTL XL picture. Click on Instrument Software. Click on Install USB driver. Then click on Install RSC program. To install the LTL XL software from the roadsensors.com website, access the website. Select LTL XL under Products. Scroll down to PC Software Program. Click on the LTL XL software pack name and follow the steps. Remember to install the driver before the software program. With these installations, your PC is ready to receive measurement data from the LTL XL instrument. Both on the USB stick and the website, you can access the user and RSC software manuals in the different languages available. To transfer the data from the LTL XL to the PC, you will have to connect the LTL XL with a supplied USB cable to the PC. When connected, you take the following steps. Turn on the LTL XL instrument. Open up the RSC software program. In a few seconds, the log page lower section will say LTL XL has been connected, changing to ready. Log status not read, changing to log status has been read. Click on Read log from LTLX into log page in the log pane. Data will be transferred to the PC in a few seconds, and the lower bar will change to log was read from LTL XL. All the data present in the LTL XL memory is now copied to your PC. The log pane provides you with all the information which has been seen in the LED display of the instrument, as well as the measurement data. At the top of the log page are a number of action buttons which will be explained further in the next. Looking at the measurement data, the first column is the total number of measurements that have been stored in the memory of the instrument. The second one is the ID of the road stretches that has been measured. In this case, there has been 2. This is the number of measurement in each ID, date and time. The night visibility as individual measurement and as average. Daytime visibility, individual measurement and average. And the number of measurement behind the average calculation. We are operating with 2 different types of average: moving, which always show the last, in this case, 4 measurements, and fixed. In this case, it makes the average of 4 measurements, start over again and make the average of 4 measurements. If there's been any errors or warnings, they will be recorded here. The temperature and humidity, and an ID for the user. Here we see the icons that tell what kind of marking type has been measured. We have different columns with GPS related data, and finally the wet timer, if it's off and on, and the time it has been set to measure. The first log pane icon is where we open a protected file. The second one is used for saving a protected file. This is where we transfer the data to Excel or to a CSV file, a comma separated value file. This activity button is where we transfer data from the instrument to the PC. Here we can delete the data in the RSC file you see here, and here we can delete the data from the instrument. This icon, you can print the file you see on the screen. This icon will transfer the GPS data so you can use them in another kind of documentation. This will remove the GPS data if you don't want to see them when you print, for example. And this icon is where you transfer data to Google Earth. The data transferred to the PC can next step be saved in an encrypted protected file on the PC by clicking on the disk with the yellow key. Saving in a protected file means that the data in the file with a unique name cannot be changed after saving it. The file will automatically be given a name consisting of LTL XL, the serial number of the instrument, and the word all, like LTL XL number 298 all. If you want a different name, you just type it in and decide in what file you want to save the data. In this example, we save the data on the PC desktop. To retrieve saved data, click on the green key and open the file where the data has been saved to. If you want to clear the data in the LTL XL, click on the symbol with a red cross over the name LTLX in the log pane. If you want to delete the data in the log page, click the red cross over the name RSC in the log pane. If you want to process the data, you can transfer them easily to Excel or a CSV, also called comma separate values, by clicking on the disk with Excel or CSV written across. To make transfer to Excel as an example, take the following steps. Click on the disk with Excel written across. Give the file a name you decide and decide on the destination of the file and click Save. Open Excel and locate the file where you saved it to. To transfer data to Google Earth with GPS installed and activated on the LTL XL and Google Earth installed on your PC, click on the last icon, the light blue globe icon of the action button called Export GPS Data to Google Earth. You will see a picture giving you the option to enter one threshold level, and if you want, the series ID, the measurement results, or both set of values displayed. By entering the threshold level, measurement results lower than the threshold level will come out in red and higher values come out in green for easy evaluation of the data. Make sure that the field Auto Start Google Earth is activated. Click OK and Google Earth will automatically zoom in on the measured stretch. Click on the individual points and an overview of the data behind the measurement will be shown. If you need further details on the software performance, please check the LTL XL software manual. On the US memory stick, you are able to find additional information about LTL XL, for example the instrument feature leaflet and the product specification. This information is available in English and in a number of other languages. With the instrument comes a 2-page laminated quick guide which introduces you to the most important functions of the instrument. On the USB memory stick which comes with the instrument, you are able to find the user manual and the software manual. You can copy them yourself. LTL XL is in compliance with the European standard EN 1436 and the US standard E 1710. All Delta's instruments are properly documented when it comes to user safety and electromagnetic emission. Delta are able to provide documents to certify this, like the US attestation of conformity and the RNTTE declaration of conformity. We trust that this instruction video will make it easy for you to start using the LTL XL for measuring retroreflection of payment markings. If you should have any questions to the use of the instrument, please contact Delta or one of our local distribution partners.